Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
G'day, and g'day. Welcome to the KOKO Show. That's right, kickoffs and kick-ons. The international season. Woo! Thanks, guys. Thanks for the applause. Thanks for the energy.
Test footy.
Yeah.
We're there.
Thank you, Swoop. What is this show? Is it the first time you've tuned in? Let me explain it very quickly. Basically, maybe around 3 times during the show, Drew will say, let's get back to the footy. Maybe 4 or 5 times, Goit will say, that'll do me, or he'll say, go away, and that's normally it's something dumb that Swoop said. And then, say 4 to 5 times during the show, Swoop will say something that will really fuck us in edit.
Yes.
And
Put you blokes to work.
And we'll debate it back and forth. It'll get on the WhatsApp, and then we'll put it in, and there'll be anxiety after it's in.
Anxiety from Drew's end.
Yeah.
No
and
one else.
Those 4 or 5 times, the only 4 or 5 times he actually says anything.
It's a wonderful show. Make sure you watch every week. We do have a headline sponsor. It's a big sponsor. It is thanks to Polo Ralph Lauren, courtesy of Maya. It's the kit we're wearing today. We'll do a little segment a little later on. And you can get it at maya.com.au or walk into the store.
Yeah.
Can't you?
Yep.
Stroll on in. They'll help you. You can get your Polo Ralph Lauren kit, which is definitely how you say it. Also, you'll never guess what. Another sponsor's back. The pies are back. 4 and
back.
20 pies. Swoop, this is your connection. You are the pie man.
Pie man.
And you've got them back on for the quiz, the KOKO quiz, courtesy of 4 and 20 pies. That's going to be very exciting today. Also, we still have a gap for a beer sponsor. Like, seriously, just sponsor. If you are a beer, we will sit here, we'll talk about it, and we'll drink it.
And nothing better to go than with a pie. You know what I mean?
Than a cold beer. Very good, very exciting. Okay, on today's menu, we do have a guest, a very special guest, a scrum half for the Wallabies will be joining us, Nic White, to chat all things Wallabies Wales. They've been in camp. He'll give us the update on all the Schmitting It In that's been going on there. Also, lots of other internationals that we'll place under the transmission electron microscope. We're looking at the All Blacks taking on the English. Also, obviously, the South Africans, they take on the big dogs, Ireland. That's a big dog battle, isn't it? And then finally, of course, the Frenchies will take on Argentina. Lots of test footy to talk about, gentlemen. But, as always, we need a little intro.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Everybody ready for that? Goit, you ready?
Hit us with a theme.
Mate, I'm ready. I thought it was already done before with the 4-5, your comments and all that.
No, I was just literally trying to explain what the show is. The theme this week, obviously, lots happening in the world of international politics.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen the debates going on in America. Very entertaining.
Yep.
Yep. France, Lord knows what's going on over there. Anyway, so what we thought we'd do, me and the production boys, is we'd assign you each a political leader as your introductions. You happy with that, Swoop?
Fantastic. I know where this is headed, but go.
So do I.
All right, let's start with our very own Joe Biden. He's old. He calls
I knew it.
He calls the USA home. We need to record early so he won't fall asleep, and he hasn't worked out that it might be time to retire.
And he needs a nappy.
It's Matt Giddo. Welcome, Gits.
Wow.
Next, our very own
Drew.
our very own Boris Johnson. Nothing stops him partying, not even a global epidemic. Loves a drink, well, many drinks, and no one knows how many kids he actually has. It's Drew Mitchell.
And can put a good shot on a kid too.
Oh, yeah. Can run over one, playing a bit of rugby. Finally, it's our very own Silvio Berlusconi. The Prime Minister of Italy, Swoop. So corrupt. Crazy corrupt.
Is he?
Yeah, he was. Loves a bunga bunga party. That's his thing. Yeah, like you. He's much loved in Positano, like you are. And he's been dead for a year, but nobody's noticed. It's Adam Ashley Cooper.
And throw in the salami fingers to boot.
Loves a salami finger. There you go, boys. Welcome. How are you all? Who would like to start with their weekend? Swoop, how'd you go over the weekend, mate?
It was great. Good weekend, actually. We got to successful babysitting exercises. Took the little one down to Wallara Rugby Park to watch Randwick take on East in their own backyard. Obviously got to catch up with Drew and a few others. and watch our friend Curly Bill come off the bench. Unfortunately, that ended quite badly for the fella, tearing his Achilles tendon, which is a bit of a shame given, I guess his recent history and what he's gone through, but also the work that he did with the Western Force to get back on the field, but also put himself back in contention for Wallaby selection. A little disappointing, but we're hoping it's not too bad and he'll be back before we know it.
Have you spoken to him, boys? Have you spoken?
Yeah,
to
he's pretty gutted, obviously. Swoop just touched on it. He's been through a fair bit in the last sort of 12 to 18 months, and just being on the cusp of being in and around the Wallabies again, and then to have this pretty significant injury. He's pretty gutted. He's going under the knife this afternoon to get that Achilles tendon reattached, and look, it's just going to be one of those roads to recovery. We just got to get around him and just help him get through it. But just much like I did to Swoop in his babysitting, just helped him get through it on Saturday. He brought little Ava down, and then it was basically up to everyone else to look after her.
And that was your weekend, was basically looking after Swoops.
Yeah. No, so I quiet Friday night, Saturday went down to the footy. And then just sort of obviously what happened with KB, and then just quiet night Saturday, just went out for dinner, and Sunday didn't get off the lounge.
Love a Sunday,
But
not
I
off
do
the
have a
lounge.
headache today.
Do you? You know what'll help it?
What did dinner cost, Drew?
No, dinner only costs 160 between four of us, so it was actually all right.
Was it like a Macca's
Where'd
run?
you go to
or-
Macca's? Yeah, no.
No, I went to the Dolphin at Surrey Hills.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Now,
Where'd you go after that?
The Lucky Cat or something?
And after that?
And that was it.
Oh, right.
you heard otherwise?
Well, I saw otherwise.
Did you?
No, we just back to a mate's place.
Oh, very good. Now, Drew, somebody has sent in a gift for you.
Oh,
Have you got this here?
I like gifts.
And it's not a snitch.
No, well, there is a snitch coming up, which is a good one that involves Drew, of course.
Oh,
But
a snitchy gift.
This is actually quite a sentimental gift. A few weeks ago, we were chatting to you blokes about your junior rugby clubs, and said if people want to send in their local jerseys, this is the team that Drew played for.
There you go.
Let me read this to you very quick, Drew. To the KOKO crew, we at the Pumas loved hearing about Drew's positive experience at our little community club. It's why we do what we do, getting kids into the best game in the world. Please accept this juniors jersey to proudly show off in your studio. Chris Christoph, Vice President. That name is made up.
Chris Christoph.
Go Pumas.
There we go.
Isn't that wonderful?
The Pumas.
Good name. Great name.
Number 11. I actually probably would have fit into this back in the day.
That's great.
Thank you, Chris Christoph, and also all the community down there at the Pine Rivers Pumas.
Absolutely. If you do have a jersey that you want to send in, we'll show it proudly on the show. Grassroots footy. Sorry, very important. for
They're
rugby.
both important.
They are. Is that what happened down at Wallara on the weekend? Hey, Goit, did you play this weekend?
We did.
How'd you go?
So our last game, the regular season game, then the playoffs start, and we got 2 weeks off for the international window. But we won. We had a home game, Snapdragon Stadium. We beat Seattle, I think 46-33, 45-33, somewhere around there. Darcy Breen, amazing. He really provided everything that we needed. A family came over, so my family's obviously here. First time they actually got to run on with me, so that was good. So over here, you run on with your kids. They stand there for the anthem, and then they're off. Mum and Dad's in town, so yeah, it's all happening here.
You know, when you do the anthem, normally the kids stand in front of you, but Levi'd be taller than you, wouldn't he, Goit?
He was behind me. I hear that. I've heard that all week. Well, it's not funny. Actually, a lot of the boys back in LA, everyone used to call me. Was it Hank from? Remember Jim Carrey?
Oh, me, myself,
When
and
he
I.
had the alter ego, me, myself, and Irene, and he had his kids. You know, the 3 kids that were big. Yeah, so the boys used to call me Hank.
Makes perfect sense. Now, we, as is the way with this show, it's a movable feast.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I would jump straight into the match fit now, brought to you by Polo Ralph Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll go back to that because our special guest has joined us.
Oh, he's on the line.
This is very exciting. It is Wallaby Test season, international season. We're all very excited. Obviously, the first match taking place this weekend against Wales. And our guest has been in Wallaby Camp all week. Let me read. He's probably joining us. He might be able to hear us. Nick, if you've seen the show, Tom writes the intro for our guests. So I'm going to read it to you very quickly. and then we'll get into all things Wallaby. All right, our guest this week is the little engine that can and will. Standing at a towering 5'9" with his lifts in, this fella has made his mark on the Australian rugby scene with his tenacious attitude and accurate skill set. There has always been a question held by the rugby world about how a voice so big can come out of a body so small, because this bloke doesn't just steer the ship with his actions, but you can hear his leadership all the way from Western Australia. This fella has an unbelievable knack of getting under the opponent's skin, so much so he has been likened on several occasions to a mosquito. He is loud, he buzzes around the field, he loves a nibble, and he might be packed full of malaria. So please welcome Scones, mustachioed Mighty Mouse, a guy whose bark most certainly matches his bite. Once the captain of Campbelltown and now the court jester of Cottesloe, it is, of course, the one and only Mr Nic William White.
Hey.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Wow, what an intro.
That was actually quite a nice one. I guess.
Can I start?
Yes.
What's going on with your face?
Yeah. Look, I ran into big Bobby Valentini and Lucan last week, and I come off second best, obviously. But in the drill, pass or kick wasn't an option.
Yeah, right. But did they get
What are
their
you doing
fingernails
getting
checked?
in that position?
Yeah, look, the drill was like 4v4, and there was like a spot missing. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll help out, just jump in, thinking like ET, our skills coach, is not going to throw it to me with those big units next to me. And he just woof. And I was like, oh, mate, we'll talk about this later.
That's when it's
Can I
okay
also
to drop.
just ask, off the back of what's doing with his head, what's doing with that jacket? Like, what's the kit? What's going on there?
I just ripped it out of the bag. I thought you'd like it, the gilet. It's very
Give us a
James Slipper.
Hang
Is
on
that
a
what it's
second.
called? A gilet?
Delay.
I think so. I think that's what they call it. I
It's
don't know.
very Marty McFly from Back to the Future. You
Yeah.
know, it's like a life preserver.
Tell you what, it's not. Polo Ralph Lauren.
Yeah. I tell you what, if we were to do a durability test right now,
Do you want?
I would question the endurance of this gilet. Very Michael Check-esque, actually. Actually, probably the only one. Yeah, it's probably the second one I've ever seen of this design since Michael Checker used to float around a little bit. The sleeveless puffer. Mate, can you stop telling me to look at the
what's
camera?
doing?
Look at it.
That's all it's doing. Sleeveless puffer.
Sleeveless
Yeah.
puffer.
I'll take it off.
No,
No,
I like
no, leave it on.
No,
Leave it on.
no,
I've actually
leave-
got one at home.
Do you?
Yeah. I got one
Okay.
for the swimming thing I did last week or the week before.
Yeah, that's called a.
Didn't wear it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a life preserver. That is literally. 'Cause they- Anyway, thanks for joining us, Whitey. Good luck against Wales. Who would like to do the actual first question to Whitey?
Well, I mean, mate, how's camp been? Only a week and a half or so now with Joe Schmidt. What's your initial thoughts?
Yeah, good. We did 4 days all together up in Brizzy. Really good. He's not overreaching by any means. We've got, like a short runway into this first test. So we're just building what we can. And he's kept it really simple. And, it's going to take some time. But, I really like the way he's approaching it. And it's really enjoyable. Boys are buzzing. But we're not going to have all the answers straight away. So it's important that we just have that kind of mindset that, he's given us small amounts and we'll do our best to perfect that. But all we can kind of give is, everything we've got in terms of detail around the game. That's going to take some time, eh?
Whitey, Swoop here.
Yep.
2 questions. And unlike Gits, they're totally related. First one, when is the team getting selected? You can answer that now.
I don't know. Usually it's Monday or Tuesday.
Well,
When are they handing out
nicely
the
to my
bibs,
second
though?
here.
Like,
Has there
do you
been
get the
any...
bibs early or?
Yeah,
I
you
just
always
wanna
read
cut
into
in on
that, don't
one,
you?
the bibs.
Like in camp
Yeah.
when the bibs go out. Like, come on, you can't.
I'm pretty
not read.
sure that I said there's 2 parts to those
I
questions
know,
and
you
they're
do.
related.
Sorry, bro.
Anyway, Gits,
I'm
you're
sorry,
right,
but the
mate.
delay.
I know.
Apologise.
I know. 2, off the back of that, any indication that you're going to get a run? Because, listen, this pod goes live, Tuesdays?
Yeah, Tuesday,
So
6
you can
p.m.
give us a scoop now and we will not release it.
I have no idea. Genuine.
You have
Genuine?
a bit of an idea of which bib you get and who's around you, though.
Yeah. Okay, let's ask
No,
this.
what
Part
I-
3,
what I
have you been
like
wearing
is-
a bib this week?
No, what I like is he actually just picks 2 blokes and say, you boys pick the team. So like when we go into in-store, which is because usually you look into that, but he was just like, all right, hooker, pick a team. And
Oh, like
that's just
schoolyard.
the team. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's you don't want to be last picked.
Don't want to raise questions, but you'd think he'd have some sort of an idea.
Oh, it's a bad
He's keeping
sign.
those cards pretty close.
Very good. Now, obviously,
Whitey-
you go.
Sorry.
No, Gits, you go. Definitely.
Yep. You're obviously there when Eddie first came in, and now when Joe's coming in, you said the mood's good, everything feels great, it feels different. What is it? What's that difference that you think has improved, or like what do you see the differences being so early on between the two?
Yeah, look, I think there's always a honeymoon period for anyone when they come in. There's that too, but I think just what he's done before and the detail around what he wants is very clear. And like I said, he's not overreaching, and we're not going to, magically become this well-oiled machine within a week. Like he's going to layer it, and he's given us very small parts of the game that we need to perfect around the ball, around the breakdown, and parts of our shape. But we're not going to shoot for this perfection of the answers to everything in 4 days before a test week. I think that's been really smart, So, I think it's just having a measured expectation of where we can get to in 4 days. I think him and Laurie have been really smart around that. And then, it's just the bloke just speaks a lot of sense.
Quick one, Whitey. We had Schmitty on the show, and we presented him with a Schmidt It In shirt. Is he wearing that at your training sessions?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I knew he loved it.
I knew
He
it.
plays it down a bit, Smitty.
Are you all going to wear that when you walk out to play, or?
Look, yet to be decided.
But it's a chance.
Yeah, that sounds pretty
It's a
good
chance.
to me.
Hey, Whitey, you're talking about how Schmitty speaks a lot of sense, unlike here on the podcast. But is this? I mean, you've had the pleasure of experiencing different coaching styles from a number of different coaches, particularly at the international level. Is there something different that you've heard from Smitty, whether it's in regards to his vision, how he wants to play this year, just something that's different as opposed to the coaches, or the messages you've heard from previous coaches that kind of resonates well with you?
Yeah, I think just the efficiency of how we want to play, and we've got a structure. I think everyone is pretty well structured nowadays around, but he's pretty free around from inside out. Just feel the shape and trust everyone to use their skill and make the right call. And I think that's it's really smart. You don't have guys running around like a headless chook. I think the one thing that I heard from him is it's not work hard, work smart. And I think I think we can really nail that. And like I said, it's unrealistic to think we're going to nail that within 4 days before the first test. But over time, I think you could just see a real shift there.
You take on Wales. Sorry, did you have one, Gits? You got your hand up? You go, mate.
No, you go, and then throw to me after if you would mind.
No, I will. That's fantastic. You take on Wales.
Not a lie, Gits makes me really nervous. Sitting there, chest out.
He's kind
It's
of
not
dressed.
even out.
You take on Wales this weekend. We've established that. They've obviously just come off a defeat against South Africa. Have you guys been through that game? Have you pinpointed any weaknesses?
We've had a look at it briefly. Well, I'd say most of the week is all about us and what we need to do. Like I said, we've been together 4 days as a team. Now we're into a test week. We need to just nail our own backyard first. So there's small parts of the game around set piece that you have a look at of where we feel we can attack, but it's a very small part of the week. It's all about if we get our own backyard right and put that out there, then we'll give ourselves a chance of giving it a rock. But we're not in a position yet to be having our game plan completely settled and staring at the opposition when we're a fair way away from that.
Over to you, Gits.
Great throw. That's a very good segue into mine. I've got 2 questions. They're not going to be related. But the first one, what would be your weirdest turn on, you think?
Weirdest turn on? Mate, that is completely left.
Like
field.
could be the way Greg's used to feed a scrum or something.
Also rugby related.
It doesn't have to be.
Sorry about that. What's my weirdest turn on?
We'd prefer it not to be rugby related.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, I
expect
like-
You go,
I like-
Swoop.
I like
You
that
go
wanted-
first.
I like that you wanted rugby. I think I like it. Weirdest turn on is just flattening up into shape. So we got shape, but then someone just says,
Oh,
in the footy.
mate.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Love that.
I really, I'm not going to lie. When you first asked me, my mind went very
Yeah.
field, and I'm not going to say that.
Oh.
Well, this weekend
But-
when you flatten up into shape, I'm going to see if you got a little chub.
Oop. And the second one, it was just around your legs. How do they treat, like, so the way they curve beautifully, like I've always admired the way they bow, but what does a physio do with those?
Nothing.
Like, do your hips get extra tight?
Well, ITB
what,
does
what do
get
you
a bit-
reckon the bow makes?
No, it doesn't. I used to think it helped me. I'm not sure it does. ITBs do get tight. I will say that my pop, he's mate, like staring down the future. His legs are, but like he sits down in the recliner.
Is
and
that right?
and he has a belt to just like pull them together and rip the belt just to fit into the recliner. It's like, gee whiz, that's the future.
So it is genetic, you reckon?
It's definitely genetic. Yeah, it's in my family.
Wow.
But your old man, he's got gorgeous legs.
It's from mum's side.
Oh, mum.
Don't say anything, good. So we've established you come from a great lineage of tunnel ball champions, but moving back to the rugby.
See, I told you.
This weekend, like you're saying that it's it's unrealistic to say that you're going to be a finished product by any means, with such a short sort of run into the Wales game, but. Give us a couple little points for us as viewers to watch this weekend, whether it's around the attacking breakdown or any of those little areas that you think that you can really work on in the short term whilst you're getting sort of the way that you want to play sort of stuck in over the next sort of period of time.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. The attacking breakdown is an area where we're focusing pretty heavily on the ball and looking after that ball. So, we've got to shape outside of that won't ever be perfect. And like you said, like we're a long way from being the finished product, but we want to be a side that has a badge of honor around that, looking after the pill, and then being efficient after that will come. But hopefully, I think last time we played Wales, ran for a whole heap of meters, but didn't look after that ball. So hopefully we're a lot better this weekend.
Goit.
Mine's more personal here, Whitey. Well, not as personal as the other ones, but more around, you've been at the Brumbies for such a long time, then you've just had the switch going back to the force, or going to the force, for me to be going back. Did that feel like right now, how does your body feel, mind? Do you feel totally refreshed? Like it's almost been a new adventure for you?
It has, yeah. Like I looked up to you, and I've just done your career around the other way around, So
You had, yeah. Yeah, you mixed France in there in the middle.
France. I just kind of went Brums, France,
Yeah.
Force.
Without the check size.
Yeah, a few others to go.
Yeah, and the third party ones are coming in. But
Don't count on it. Don't count on those.
I was due a change. I do feel refreshed. I really enjoying the challenge over there in Perth, and as you know, it's an awesome spot to live. Like the family love it. I'm at that point now, so the wife and kids being happy is really important, and that's given me a little bit of a boost. And I missed out on the Lions last time, so when the opportunity came to just to be around here and throw my hat in the ring, what will be will be. But that's exciting too.
Now, Whitey, we are short on time with you today. You've got a very tight schedule. I know you've got a bunch of press to do. So there's something we like to do on the show here. It was your idea, but I'm going to tighten it a touch. So
Sure.
it's the bench one, start one, drop one.
Okay.
So we'll just speed it up and I just want you to do it for these three boys. So Swoop,
Oh.
Biv, and
Yeah.
Goit. You got to start one, bench one, drop one.
And if it helps, just related to the shoot, shag, marry. That. Just
Okay.
think about that.
If it helps, also remember, like when you're in the academy at the Brums, and I was looking after
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah. So
both originating from
I'll
Central Coast.
Oh, both
I'm
send
gonna
Mm.
start Swoop.
Oh,
I'm gonna I'm going to bench Drew.
Oh, you're kidding.
And I'm dropping.
What? This is KOKO
Hey, mate,
first.
I remember those academy days well, Gits.
Yeah, well, you
And
got
if
to
I
get 'em
ever
up.
got the chance to drop you,
This hasn't happened before. This has not happened before. So,
Unprecedented.
This
Yeah,
is
it
unbelievable.
so what I want to do, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
So why are you starting me?
I think we both know why.
Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Drew's obviously very versatile.
yeah.
And
Also,
Gits clearly dropping.
What did Gits do to you in that academy?
nah. So there's I probably remember it way better than Gits does. But so Josh Valentine was down there, and Pat Phibbs and a couple other boys, and it was my turn at a backs unit session to whiz one to Gits, and I threw one too far out in front, like it was a dud pass anyway. But he's turned around and gone, "Who's this? Who's this? Who's this passing? Someone go get Valo." I was like,
Yeah,
all right.
it's a joke.
I walked off. I wasn't allowed to pass the ball to Gits for like 18 months. I wasn't even sure he knew my name.
Oh, mate, it's longer than that.
Gits was horrible like that. He was renowned. He had the nickname Postman.
Really?
Because anything that just didn't hit the mark, he'd just return it back to sender. Just throw the ball back and say, don't throw me that shit.
You could see what Whitey was doing there, though. He wanted Goit to flatten up so he'd get a bit of rouse.
Very, very good. Now, Whitey, I'm getting the wind up in here. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck against Wales. We'll all be watching. I think we'll all be out at the game.
Yep.
Wearing our Schmidt It In shirt, so we'll be cheering you on. Anything else for Whitey, boys?
No, so, mate, are you starting or off the bench or what's happening?
Hard to say.
Hard to say.
No, good luck, Waddy.
Thanks,
Okay,
Gits.
okay,
Appreciate
just
it.
last one real quick. Start, bench, drop. You, Tate McDermott and Jake Gordon.
No, but you can't. He'll drop it himself.
I was going to say, I'm dropped. There we go.
Okay, so
I'm
Whitey's
not
not playing
yeah,
this
there we
weekend.
go.
There we go. All right.
Makes sense. Very good. Thank you, Whitey. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Love
mate.
you.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Nic White. Well, we don't know if he's playing, but
But he doesn't know either.
no, he's hopefully he's there on Saturday. Yes, Swoop, you had a
What I propose is maybe a little tally of points, from this whole start, bench, drop. 3 points for starting, 2 points for benching, 1 point
After
for
one
bench.
starting spot.
I just.
I'm actually quite against it.
No,
But mate,
I am as well.
Can we just?
You've got Hugo that adds up. Hugo, you two work together, working it out. So it swoops on top. It's just how it always works.
collectively.
I don't like it.
I think we should all congratulate Drew. It's his first.
Don't fucking patronise me, mate.
I think it's your first jersey, like in the 23. I don't think you've started.
cap.
He should be starting. He's ahead of you. Miles ahead of you.
Lots of comments during the week about is there some beef between Goit and Swoop? People are concerned that it's something new, but I guess it's just always been there, Goit. Is that right?
Yeah. I feel like it's really accelerated the last couple of weeks.
Rotates.
All right, there you go. We'll start doing the maths on it. Tom, you're a trustworthy bloke. Start doing the maths.
It's actually pretty simple, I think, for all of it, just in terms of high level. In terms of all the ones that we've had, Gits has basically started on bench and he's dropped, but that was the only one that changed. So you could probably work it out pretty quickly in terms of who's got least amount of points.
It's not about who wins, it's about who loses. Is that what you're saying?
In a roundabout way.
Okay, terrific. Now, we did jump ahead there. I need to go back because we got our wonderful sponsor, which is Polo Ralph Lauren, and we do the awesome segment, which is Match Fit. That's right, folks. Creating real waves in the world of television / radio / whatever we're doing. Who would like to go first? I think we're going to start with you today, Gits, because whatever the hell you're wearing there, mate, you are looking outstanding. Talk to me.
I tried to leave the house. The wife shut the door. She said, "No, you look too hot." So, what I've gone with, it's like a double-breasted coat. I didn't really feel like there was a shirt that could do it justice, just because It looks that good. And then I've got a cargo. I don't know if you can
Ooh.
see 'em.
Oh, that's
They're a
fantastic.
brown, but they're a cargo
Are they?
material. And not cargo. No,
Chino.
cargo's not what I'm after. No, not chino. Keep
Velour,
going.
corduroy.
What were those pants? That's it.
Corduroy.
A corduroy. They're corduroy.
Yeah.
That was the one.
For those of you,
they are amazing.
for those of you listening, Goit he's not wearing a shirt. So if you're a young lady that likes to see Matt Giddo without a shirt on,
Well,
jump onto
it's a
YouTube.
double-breasted jacket with no shirt. Would we say it's quadruple-breasted?
In his case,
Yeah.
I like what you did there,
I
Drew.
like it. Where would you wear that, Goit?
Well, I reckon you could wear it anyway. You're probably not to a school, not dropping the kids off to school. Otherwise, you wouldn't get out of there. You'd be late to work. I would say if you're going to buy a new car and you want a good deal, looks like I'm probably someone that you don't want to haggle with. Just give me the lowest price and I'll get it done.
Do you want to ask him? I know the question you want to ask him. Durability. Do you want to?
Durability, rotation.
Mate, I don't think it. Rotation.
Oh wow.
And that's with a bad back. Still got a bad back. Look at that. It's not the jacket restricting me. Durability. I mean, a gorilla wouldn't be able to rip that open. Look at that. It's amazing.
I'd actually like to see that, though.
Yeah.
You're in San Diego, the San Diego Zoo.
Yeah. Go try it out for us.
Yeah, actually, the last time I went to the zoo, when we were playing in LA, took the kids there, and these two gorillas were going at it like proper.
Oh.
It was like sex ed for the kids. They're like, "What's going on there, Dad?" So I asked your mother.
So, Swoop, you're next. Talk to me.
Am I?
You're very blue today.
Very
Looks
blue
terrific.
again. Yeah, just like running the Navy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, I picked this because it was actually a plan B. The plan A was actually Gits' outfit last week, the green suit, and, off the back of winning that little thing that we had, because he called me out.
He did, and you
We had a little
you
wage,
were
didn't we?
correct.
And I was correct. I was correct.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was correct, yep.
You didn't
Anyway,
say clinical. You said
controlled.
controlled. He was correct.
And validated by the production team. Anyway, that's not here. You're supposed to send that
Shock
express
me.
post. That's fine. Obviously still in the mail. So I went with plan B. Plan B is obviously Polo Ralph Lauren. Lovely large, triple large number with some polo chinos.
Where could you wear it, Swoop?
Well, I was thinking it's very versatile. You could maybe wear it down to watching the kids play footy, junior footy park,
Yep.
or maybe one.
Absolutely.
Do you know the guys or the lemons that get an invite to the Bucks, but they don't actually get the follow through to the wedding? Those just hanger-oners. Yeah. I think it's
like
a
a
really good
workmate
opportunity.
or-
Those guys.
Yeah.
To wear it to
Have
the
you ever
Bucks.
had that?
Never. Wear it to the Bucks and say, hey, I'm worthy of a start to the wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm not invited yet, but have a look at what I bring. I bring
Yeah, I can see that.
Polo.
Yeah. So if there's a
Ralph
late dropout in the
Lauren.
guest list, who's first in?
And they'll
That-
say,
that
this,
idiot
you know what?
Swoop.
Geez, you look pretty good at that Bucks party.
Durability,
I
mate.
don't know if that's why you're getting a call up. If you're at a Bucks party, I reckon you bring a fair bit more to the table.
Don't you know it?
Might be a late call to you, maybe like 11 p.m. or something.
Suits more of a chance of going to the Bucks and then getting just uninvited from the wedding.
Just want to give it a tug for me. The jacket,
Yeah, I'd
the
love to,
sweatshirt.
actually, yep.
Yeah, go quick. Beautiful, very good. And you, Drew?
Yeah, I've gone for the white polo, polo.
Love it.
And just with the
love
with the knitted sweat, just
Yeah.
Obviously tied up at the front.
Yep.
I like it. Run us through the tie. Like you haven't.
It's a
put it in
classic
I sort
Darcy
of-
breed.
Yeah, I just
That
put them back up. I don't know, like almost like you're pairing some socks,
Yeah.
just like that, rather than the knot.
Very rugby union, mate.
Yeah, but you could also wear it to the Swans.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pure swanning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also sell a pub in it. A bit more like
Oh,
not in the
mate.
office. I'm going
Yeah.
out to meet the publican on
Right.
site.
Are you sitting in the garden, the beer
Yeah,
garden?
the beer garden, of course.
You sell pubs?
This is just in case there's a little cool breeze come through. You might need to put it on afterwards.
You
But,
sell pubs.
well, I'm in the pub selling game. I'm not selling any at the moment.
Durability, mate. What are you tugging there?
Give me
Yeah.
what am I tugging? Oh,
Yeah, just tug something. Oh, that's good.
Tug.
yeah.
Great tug.
Good tug.
And I've gone for the, it's like a pinstripe.
Yes.
Light blue and white. And then I've gone for the chino, for the brown chino.
You look amazing, Prof.
I feel good in this today. I feel classy.
You've
Are they a brown chino?
Is that a tan chino? Sorry.
Yeah, but
A
either way, they
beige
look great.
chino. Yeah, it feels good. I feel young.
Yeah.
I feel hip. I could be on a boat.
yeah,
I could wear it to bed. Looks a bit like a nightshirt.
sure.
I could do the painting in it. It's wonderful.
Prof, the last 6 weeks or so, your fashion game's really elevated. Like, how's that been received at home?
Yeah, no, it's good. I went to dinner on the weekend and I wore a polo
Oh wow.
shirt.
Oh, you've taken one out of his book. How much did you spend?
Oh no, it was a voucher from my
Right.
auntie, but
Thought that counts.
yeah. But I mean, it was an okay joint. It was in Manly. It was a curry house, and I'm going to say $80.
Nice.
And the missus was pumped
For the family.
for everything. Oh yeah, for the four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dad and Mum came
Yep.
as well, and that was 4 naan breads. All right, is that the end of the segment?
Yeah.
We love you, Polo Ralph Lauren. There you go, match fit, very good. Socials where you can find us, kickoffs, kick-ons. We'll race through this today,
Yeah.
guys. Kickoffs and kick-ons on YouTube. Keep watching. Almost 29,000 likes and subscribes by the end of this international season. I'm going to say 200,000. They love it. It's about to take off this show. Merch is still coming in. Black and white tees that are available. Stubby holders. The gold tees are going to go again. Tommy has just come up with a whole new line of shirts and hats that we've seen that we saw on Monday that are epic. And they'll be available very, very soon. That's on kickoffs and kickons.com. Go on there also for our live shows. Sorry, boys, trying to race through this.
No.
With Georgia, where there's a live show, what are we going to do? Drew, you got anything for us?
Yeah, so all of us minus Goit, because he'll be over there winning championships. We'll be at the Australia v Georgia game at Allianz here in Sydney. Sign up, get your tickets. It's a package. You get food, you get drinks, you get a show from us. Plenty of good stories, just lots of entertainment and lots of fun.
And-
Afternoon footy too.
Oh,
How good.
And Holiday Swoop in the day is far better than Holiday Swoop at night.
Yeah.
He's a magical creature, isn't he?
It's also phones away type lunch, and that's when Holiday Swoop, like, it's game over.
Yeah.
A little bit nervous about the no phones.
You would prefer for people to film you telling the filthy stories.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, no, happy with the no phones.
Well, you just
But
always
that's
know
just-
someone's got one.
Yeah, I'm just with the whole no phones policy. I'm just a little bit nervous about the clips, the bloopers, the unseen footage that.
Yeah, so what we're hoping to do, we actually have to run this by the group yet that's putting on the show, is that there is a bunch of bloopers that we have been doing throughout the year that we've been compiling that Hugo has been doing. Although with Hugo, who knows? He probably deleted them. But we're hoping that he's put them together and we're going to play those.
Well, that's a no from me.
Yeah, well, I'm saying yes, so that's 1-1. Drew?
I feel like I'm going to get stitched up, but yes.
And I'm a yes.
Okay, perfect.
Boys? Yes, yeah, they're all yes. Sorry,
right.
mate. And I think we only needed 75% to get that. to get that through. That's exciting. Hey, time for my favourite segment because I wasn't in the media spotlight for 15 years, so it doesn't exist for me. It's time now for Social Snitches. Brought to you by
Here we go.
fucking someone. Someone.
Yeah.
All right, this one today, who is it actually from? I don't have the note in here. Tommy, can you put it up and I'll read it? Thank you. This is from The Chosen One. Now, this is, I'm going to read it here. Me, Drew, and Gits in Saint-Tropez on 5-litre glass pina colada. Drew paid 600 euros for it. Standard.
Oh, Tomo.
Mate, 2 days out from a big Toulon game. Coach's mate busted us. Bits swore him to secrecy. I had to carry that thing around Saint-Tropez till finished wearing a Toulon shirt. Gits gave me. Sorry to give you up, boys. Love you. I can read. There was just a few typos there. I understand about that.
So the Fitz was me. I gave him a jersey.
Yes, your Gits. Yeah. So
I
run.
must be Bits. I'm Bits and Fitz in that message there.
Yeah, I think so. All right, here's the first photo. So this is you. Do you remember this gentleman?
Yep.
The Chosen One. Do you
Mark
know what's his actual
Thompson.
name?
Yep.
Mark is a Kiwi fella. Used to work for a group called Karma Resorts that we were ambassadors for. So we were up there to see just to kind of blend into a team activity up there, and he basically gave up on the team activity. And
I don't think the team was there, Drew.
Well, remember in the end we sort of went around to see them. They were doing some sort of amazing race or something, and I've actually got a photo here. This is
Really? I don't remember
the
that
photo
at
of the actual pina colada with my credit card and receipt on it.
Perfect. So pop this one up for us. Do this one next.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
And it wasn't €600, guys. I've got it right here.
How much was it?
650.
All right, and then we'll put. Is that it empty? And then we'll put that photo in as well.
Yeah, it's pretty close to empty.
Oh my god, it looks like a piss take. As in, you've put the glass too close to the camera.
It's definitely not.
If you're listening, you need to get on and see the size of this pina colada. Is this where your love of pina coladas started, Gits?
Mine's Mai Tais, but I enjoyed this day as well. But I did enjoy this day. And it wasn't like Drew paid everything. Didn't you hear? Fits or bits, I gave Tomo a jersey.
There it is there. Oh, very, very good. That's a great social snitch. Please.
And on the back of that, we won that weekend too.
Was that a European Championship?
Yeah, I think it was the final.
After you...
No, I don't know what it was, but...
No, I think it was. It was like the semi. Because even the old man, he said, mate, that's a bit... And like Dad played league back in the day, and he thought that's a bit risky what you're doing, but it worked.
That is a bad sign. All right, there you go. Very good. Social snitches, please send them in. info@shtn.com.au. Oh, just give me a thumbs up, or just DM us on the @kickoffs. Kick-ons.
I'm happy for them to share it around a little bit too. Maybe one of Swoop, or maybe one of Prof. If you got one of Prof back in the day when you had hair, we'd love to see it.
It's a long. I don't think they had cameras back then, mate. That's a long time ago. All right. Rugby Roundup segment. It continues. It is international season. You guys have been assigned games to get deep and dirty on. Hope you're ready to go. We do start with Wales taking on the Wallabies. The boys have been in camp. We've just chatted to Nic White. Drew.
Yeah.
You've been in a lot of these camps. You've had a lot of different coaches. How are we shaping up for this bout on the weekend?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a classic, hard to say. I think even quotes from Joe Schmidt throughout the week saying it's the least prepared he's ever been going into a test match or any game perhaps. And that's purely just because time spent with the squad. Whitey said they only had 4 days last week together as a full squad, and then they go back into camp Monday morning leading into this test. So not a lot of time with one another. I think with the squad, I think there was 13 uncapped players. So a lot of fresh faces, a lot of people that Joe Schmidt wouldn't know. There'd be a number of those players in this squad that he would have a fair bit of comfort in what they could bring to this arena. But then in saying that with the 13 debutants, he wouldn't so much. I think that what they'll use these next 2 games against Wales and Georgia, they'll use it as an opportunity to see some people that hadn't been there before. And then the Rugby Championship squad will be more like what the squad's going to look like moving forward.
Right. Now,
does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Would you? But if you're the coach, wouldn't you want to come out of the blocks and get the Australian public behind you and try and pick your best team? Is that not the way to look at it?
Australian public behind us, they need to start building something. You can't just sort of start from scratch and expect to win every single game. And I think for us as fans, we have to be realistic with where we are as a squad and where we are in terms of having a new coach of only 4 days so far of preparation. They're not going to come out and be world beaters in the first instance. And I think if we see progression from the first to the second to the third game, and then that continues, then that'll be a squad that we can get around. And he needs to know what players can do. There's no point going into the bigger games later in the year with players that are untried and untested. I just think with some of the players that got released, Harry Wilson, Lenny Kitau, they're the types of players that if it was a test that needed to be won, I think he'd probably push for them to be in the squad. What I hear is Lenny Kitau had a bit of a hamstring complaint, nothing too serious, but he's sort of left the squad. Curtly Beale, obviously, he was one that was from the 38 down to the 34, didn't make that 34, and then he ruptured his Achilles over the weekend. I think for a lot of those players, for the 4 that were left out, 3 of them pretty heavily experienced, players that he'd know that what he could get out of them. But moving forward, I think he'll give opportunities to your Tom Liners, to the players that hadn't been in that arena before, and then see how they go.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there is that worry here, and you've spoken about it, about that we kind of start players too young and we blood them before they're ready. But then there's also that thought of you've got to give them a go at a time when it doesn't mean as much. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to diminish the importance of these games against Wales and Georgia, because every Test match is worth a hell of a lot. But I just think for the greater plan of things with the Rugby Championship, then the Grand Slam tour later in the year going into the Lions next year, he needs to get an understanding of which players he can trust and who are going to do a job in that arena. And unfortunately, with the short lead-up time, I think they'll use these next few games as an opportunity to have a look at a few players.
Now, Guy, you've been in a lot of these camps where there's a lot of coaching stuff. We obviously now know Joe's main assistant coaches, so they've got Laurie Fisher, Jeff Parling, and Mike Cron. I just wanted to ask you, how does that work? Are they leading particular training sessions, or are they all working together in the one session? You've obviously seen it over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the head coach. Like, how involved does Joe Schmidt get? So when we had, say, even Bernard Laporte or Eddie Jones, I put them in the same bracket. They're in behind the ruck following, like saying, pass here, go there. And that's not the play, like almost putting pressure on everyone, making sure that we do the right stuff. And then however you're trying to play becomes habitual. But then you've got other coaches like John Connolly. He trusts his assistants so much that there's times throughout the training session, he'd be walking around putting bets on the trots. So, and both coaches, or three coaches, there's lots of coaches. Those three, I really enjoyed all of them, equally the same, but they were different. So it just depends exactly how hands-on Joe is. And I'm sure as a coaching group, if they've got a good relationship and he's very trusting in his own abilities, he'll let Lord, handle his business wherever that is, and let the assistants actually do their job.
Now, so you played 121 of these things, these Wallaby games. Can you convince us, the Wallaby public, that right from the word go, we're going to get it done against Wales, and tell us why? Come on, mate.
You can't do that.
Yeah, have you seen that Wales squad? They fucking got a Schmidt It In, mate.
Something, Swoop. Rev us up. Give us something.
No, well, I mean, you got to give respect, right? It's a young Wales team. They're in a similar boat to us. They've been building. They've lost a lot of their senior players over the last couple of years, and they're a young, hungry team, hungry squad, who put on a really good performance against the Springboks previously in the first half. It blew out a little bit, but it's a good outfit, and they'll come over here and compete. I think I like what Drew said earlier, and like to echo that. There's going to be some teething issues, particularly in these first three games, and you just encourage the Wallaby supporter, and I know we are, just to be patient and give these guys a chance to build on what Whitey was touching on earlier. Really like the fact of what he said, the focus around holding the ball. I think if you watch the Wallabies over the last couple of years, in patches, certain sequences, they're the world's best. But the ability to maintain ball and maintain applying pressure is absolutely key in the Test arena. So if that's a message that Joe's, reinforcing early, and the players are taking that on board, and the importance of being able to hold the pill, then I think we're in good shape already.
Wasn't exactly like a rev up, but it's okay. It was there. I think out of that.
Well, let's not put the mockers on them early.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. So let's just sum that up with give me a winner and a score. Do you want to go first, Swoop?
Yeah, sure. Wallabies by 7.
Wallabies 13 plus.
Okay. Goit?
Yeah, I'm going to go Wallabies 31-12.
Oh, I like that. That's the actual score. It is a big weekend of Test rugby. Lots of big dogs taking on each other, as we've learnt. None bigger than South Africa taking on Ireland. That game one's in Pretoria. Goit, have you been following the build-up to this? I know that our show has been a part of throwing a bit of petrol on the fire.
Yeah. We've been huge. Even recently, we got poor Zeebs in a bit of trouble with Russie. They've worked that out. So sorry about that, Zeebs, but we've got to get our clicks in, so we're going to use it. This is, I think, even all the way back at the Hong Kong Sevens, we were talking about it. Number one in the world actually versus the world champions, who are the best at the moment. So there's been so much chat in the background, even before this Test series was even close to happening, that I reckon for me, obviously, I'm Aussie number one through and through. But as far as the series goes, this one for me is the most interesting.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a blockbuster of a couple of tests between these two. And, I mean, everyone's getting involved in it, whether it's Rassie and Zeebs. If it's Victor Matfields has come out hitting back against Sam Warburton, former Welsh number 7, to say, mate, don't know what he must be living in his own world if he thinks that the back-to-back world champs aren't number one going into a team that's never made a semi-final. So there's just people throwing and adding fuel to the fire, and it's going to be a huge clash. I'm actually really looking forward to getting up through the night and watching it.
Even your mate, Prof, Duane.
Did Duane say
He had
something?
a bit to say.
Mate, he's the best.
Yeah, at Hong Kong. You don't remember?
Oh, no, I
Or maybe you
don't
were
remember
sick
that
that
bit. Was I there that day?
I don't know if you could hear it through your screaming at the porcelain.
Yeah, but you know Duane. He loves it, loves rugby. Hey, Pretoria. Swoop, you've played there plenty. Ireland would be going there hoping for what?
Or win. Yeah.
Easily,
a
win?
Yeah, that's number one.
Yeah. But do you want your win to be going a certain way? Do you want half the fans not to show up?
I think the focus would be the first 20, right? You know, Pretoria being on the high veld, right? It's a tough start. You know, first test, very anticipated. I mean, it's going to be an epic battle. I think the first 20 for Ireland is obviously very important. But I find it hard seeing South Africa losing this one, particularly the first in Pretoria.
A lot of these players would have played the Bulls and Pretoria just recently and didn't get the job done over the Bulls. So they've had some recent history there. They'll maybe learn a few things from the approach and preparation going into that game, maybe even a little bit around kicking strategies up in the high veld with the altitude and various other things. But, I can't see South Africa getting beaten.
So
It's
scoring.
also, I mean, sorry, Prof. I was just saying, Pretoria in particular, it's a very hostile environment. Even turning up to, it's almost like a jail cell, the way fences are up along the side as you're coming into the stadium. The crowd is so vocal. That first 20 minutes, as a player, when you're not used to that, it feels like, well, for me, back at cross country, when you used to have to compete and you had that cough, that inside burn, like you get that real easy and very quickly when you're playing in the high veld. So I just reckon all those little things, the first test for sure. I think South Africa will probably get it done.
Is Ireland
unfortunately, but I want Mac Hansen to do well. Is Mac in?
Well, unfortunately, Mac's not. No.
Okay.
But
well,
the country.
Fine, go for South Africa.
Razzie, the what would you call him? He's like a cerebral gymnast, isn't he? He's posted the Irish team. So he's on Twitter. He's written, "This is class, going to be epic next week this time." And then he's put his bench as well. He's done his 1 to 23 of what the Irish team will be. So
he's good.
But how
He's
good
real
is that
good.
for the sport? Having coaches like that.
Oh, mate.
Do you think this is
I think
because
that's amazing.
Rassie's had a camera at Irish teams training or something?
Probably. No, on Razzie. Well, that'll be good. Give me a winner and a score. Swoop.
South Africa by 9.
Yeah, South Africa by 12.
Okay. And Goit?
It's going to be South Africa 23 to 12.
Okay. There you go. He likes 12 for the losing side, Goit, I've noticed. How have we not got a betting agency on this? Oh, we need to just talk to him. You've got a gambling problem? You should just chat to him. Hey, All Blacks England. First time, I believe, I'm just going to toss this up. I think I heard 20 years since England's played down in New Zealand. No, Ollie's shaking his head. It happened last year, apparently. It was 2014, so 10 years. Apologies.
Sure.
Just toss this shit up. Obviously, they play at Dunedin. So speaking of difficult places to play rugby, Dunedin's it's a real shit of a place to play, isn't it? Swoop?
It's a
Well,
great
now
place to
yeah, it's
play.
indoor.
It's indoors. It
Ah.
favours the Poms.
Yeah, right.
In a way.
There you go. What do you got for me? All Blacks England.
Black shit it in.
That easy.
Yeah, the ABs will do it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Without
well,
breaking
I mean-
a sweat.
Oh, just off the back of, I guess, the performances throughout the Super Rugby, new coaching staff. It's just feels like there'd be a lot of genuine positive build-up amongst the All Blacks camp. I mean, he's one of the great coaches of all time. He'll know how to motivate this group, and I'm sure he'll go with a few changes. But there's just so much experience that are there in the Super Rugby team in the squad that are also coming back from Japan. I don't see them losing. Not in their own backyard.
Quite a high turnover in kind of senior players since that World Cup. So
Yeah.
Aaron Smith, Sam Cane, Artie
Well,
Savia.
Sam Cane was at their launch the other day. He wasn't announced in the squad, but he was sitting front row in their launch in the Polo. So he may not. He's obviously maybe not going to feature against England, but perhaps in the Rugby Championship. But look, he's Razor's one of the great provincial coaches, but this is his first crack at international. So it'd be interesting to see what style of play they play, which is perhaps why Satutu has been left out. A guy arguably the most informed player in New Zealand, but maybe doesn't suit the style of play in which Razor wants to play. So being like stylistically to see how they go out there this weekend and play, I think going up against England, it's going to have to be up front first and foremost. Go try and dominate that up front battle, whether it be set piece or in and around the breakdown, to then be able to free up. You would say Damien McKenzie at 10, the way it's sort of looking. I would assume that Damien's got to start at 10 and just give him quick flatten up ball and see what they can do off the back of that.
Speaking of 10s, obviously England goes in with a different number 10. Marcus Smith, will he start for them?
You'd say so.
Ford hasn't
It's
travelled.
Is it Finn Smith and Marcus Smith? But I'd say Marcus will get the first crack.
Well, he played against Japan. He started last week and was quite good against them. Gits, do you give England any hope? Is there anything they can do to beat the All Blacks here?
Oh, no. I mean, obviously they played well enough against Japan. It would have been a nice tune-up. But the All Blacks, like, they're playing for – it's a new coach. The players are on edge. They often always come out of the blocks firing. Even you look at I think in January, he got the group together early to run Broncos. So, and they've been doing little connection pieces along the way. So I can't see it happening. And if England do win, it's going to cost Ma a lot of money here because we've got some pommies and he's taken every bet.
Can you call out to Corbs and see who he thinks he's going to win?
Corbs. Alex. Who do you think's going to win? Oh, it's going to be New Zealand. Oh, he said New Zealand. I don't know where he is, mate. I think
He could be anywhere.
Could be sleeping, poor fella.
Okay.
He's in the clouds, mate.
Swoop, who and by how many?
AB's by 21.
Yeah, I was going to say 19.
Yeah, bit of a blowout. Goit?
Yeah, 34-12.
And the last one, the last test match is taking place. Argentina, they take on France. This first match is in Mendoza, which is this weekend. They've got an interesting it's 1 week, the Argentinians, because they play on the Saturday against France, and then it's midweek against Uruguay on the Wednesday. They go across to Uruguay.
Second team.
Yeah, and then the following Saturday against France. Obviously, the French, very strong side. No Antoine Dupont. He'll be getting ready for the Olympics.
Well, no Antoine Dupont, but also it'd be interesting to see how many of those Toulouse players play and Bordeaux players after the weekend. Probably don't have anyone in the squad. But whether they back up straight after their final on the weekend. So it might be a different French team in the second test against Argentina, but I can't see the French getting beaten in this one.
You don't give the Argentinians any hope?
Oh no, I give them hope, but I just think the French are just too good.
Goit, any way Argentina can beat France in this one?
I think so. Depending on selections. Obviously, I saw the Toulouse players still having a magic time at home celebrating, obviously, the win. So, yeah, maybe if they're clunky being their first test and they haven't picked, their best players, but I think by the second test, it's probably going to be the French.
I'm more Vamos. I'm more Pumas. Yeah, they're going to win the first.
What's the crowd like when you're playing Argentina? Is it like the soccer matches you see?
They're the number
where
one
they're
supporter
nuts?
in the world, I reckon.
Yeah.
Up there with the Fijians.
When we were over in the World Cup, we got right amongst the Argentinian supporters waving the shirt
that's
around.
right.
Oh, they're the
And like
best,
we're doing
yeah.
these ones. Oh, I don't know what it was, but
Great
it's doing it.
supporter.
They were,
But yeah, I reckon that with potentially the hangover of the top 14, also the home and away mindset of the French, that might play a little bit of a role. I reckon there's just too much distraction, friction there, and I think the Pumas would have spent a bit of time together and preparing for this. I'm with Argentina.
Ooh, very good.
There you
Well, they're doing well in the Copa as well. Argentina. I don't know if you're watching a bit of Messi action.
Oh, no.
Thanks,
Good
mate.
stuff. Well, it's actually in America. You should get across to it. Gets plenty of soccer happening.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's a pretty small place, America. I might just duck across, watch the game.
Perfect. Texas is lots of games in Texas, mate. Other games taking this place this weekend. Georgia, Fiji. Yes, Swoop.
I was just going to do a squiz.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
He's just
You can
stood
keep
up.
talking about what are we?
Oh, there's just these other three matches.
Okay, let's get through them.
Well, it's not just
Who is it?
the big dogs.
I'll do
playing.
them all if you want.
You want to
Let's
do them
go.
all? Okay. These are the other matches taking place this weekend. Georgia will take on Fiji.
Yep, Georgia. Next.
Canada will take on.
He's got one of the great bladders. Swoop's got one of the great bladders. I love it. I admire it. He'll hold forever.
Canada versus Scotland,
Scotland.
and USA take on Romania. You can probably go watch that one, Gits.
I'm Romania.
Romania
Potentially.
against the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
There's been a big decline over there in the States.
Does everybody agree with all of those three?
I'm going to go Fiji.
Of course you are, mate. When's that holiday booked?
Yeah, it's coming up. And what was the other one?
Canada, Scotland, USA,
Yeah, I'll
Romania.
go the Scots.
The Scots.
Fiji, Scots, Romania.
Okay. Goit, anything different there?
Yep, I'm going the Eagles.
How
One of
many
my Eagles at
how many
the end.
boys have the Legion got in the Eagles?
We got four boys in there. I think only the one for Canada, but we've got 5. Hopefully, we'll keep pushing more of those numbers after the end of the season.
Yeah, nice.
All right, there you go.
So much footy.
So
So
much
much
footy.
code.
So much
Code,
test
mate.
match.
Test footy.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the Wallabies to Schmidt It In and for everybody to go, geez, those KOKO motherfuckers were right.
Actually, speaking about tests and the anthem, every game we play over here, it was an anthem. And on the weekend, we had this jazz guitarist. We had that many American boys on different times, trying to sing, trying to work it out. I reckon you've just got to keep it for the anthem as a player. You don't need any of that extra cheese.
No.
Just keep it strict to the anthem. Sing it well. Do yourself proud, do everyone proud, but don't overcomplicate it because it's very hard to follow.
They always change the arrangement of the American anthem, don't they? Like everyone gets their own piece on it.
It's not about them. It's about the players. It's about the game. It's about the occasion. It's not an opportunity for a jazz guitarist or any other artist to do some sort of vocal gymnastics with the anthem. Just sing it how it's meant to be sung, so everyone can get around it and punch it out.
Do you remember there's that?
Not just in America as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, it
there's
happened
been times
recently.
even for us. We've been in South Africa and they just start playing the music and we don't even get a chance to sing it at the time. Not South Africa. I love South Africa as well. May not have been there. It was a different country. But it's very hard because it's something that you're wanting to rip into.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just.
Have you seen the
That was my
vision
life
of
story.
when Fergie is singing
Oh,
the national anthem? And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the NBA
That's
players.
the worst.
So
Yeah.
look it up. Also taking place this weekend, the Wallaroos will take on Fijiana. It's a double header.
yeah, double header,
I mean,
afternoon footy.
Absolutely.
Well, this one's afternoon footy and then into the men's, I think, 7:35 kickoff.
The
So-
Wallaroos obviously looking to make up for the series that they didn't
Yep.
do so well in, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously under a new coach as well, Joanne Yap. Some performances that they would have liked to have been on the other end of, leading into this. But now there's an opportunity against Fijiana this weekend, and for them to sort of keep building on what they've been working on under the new tutelage of Joanne Yap.
So that's at 4:45. Get your tickets, get there, do the double header. What a great afternoon down there. Now, we are going to do a Holiday Swoops hotspots, which at some point you need to do one for that Paddington area, but not today.
Okay.
So put that in the...
Maybe for the Georgia game before our live show.
Oh, that's a good shout. And then we should actually do it, and we'll do it on our phones as we do it. What do you reckon?
Sounds great.
Okay. Time now for What's Drewing. Let's do that sting, Hugo.
What's drewing?
So good. What's your What's Drewing today, Drew?
What's drewing is the announcement from Michael Hooper that he's retiring from rugby here in Australia. Very very pointed dialogue in the retirement. Means what I took from it is that he's not entirely done with rugby, but rugby here in Australia. So won't be at the Olympics and just wrapped up his career here in Australian rugby. What that looks like moving forward, I'm not sure. Whether it's a stint in France, Japan, maybe over there with you at the Legion, Goit, not sure. But I mean, he's just been a tremendous player, both on and off the field, coming in as a rookie, but then all the way through to the leader that he is. He's just had a huge mark on the game here in Australian rugby, and I just hope he just gets the send off that he deserves. I don't know if one thing that they do in the UK and up north really well are these testimonials, where you really just sort of have a night celebrating the impact that he had, or a player has, guy or girl, on and off the field, and make it about them. He's not the type of player that would probably love that, but I think it's important to really recognise the impact that these players have had in a really long-standing career. 4-time Johnny Eels medalist, arguably one of the best in his position for a long period of time. And Hoops is, he's been a big advocate for the game here in Australia and also globally.
So only 32, Swoop. I mean, he could play. Gits is 41. He could play for the next 8 to 10 years. Basically filling up his superannuation, couldn't he? Couldn't he just go Europe into Japan, into Saudi Arabia?
Begs the question. I know he posted online with a comment there. What are you seeing there, Drew, that says that he's done here but potentially not elsewhere?
Well, it said, what a ride. My Olympic journey has come to an end, and with it, my Australian rugby career. Didn't say rugby career.
Have you got a scoop?
I read the same. Yeah.
You got a scoop?
No, you don't need to. You just need to be able to read, Swoop, and you can understand that. Like, I'm exactly where you're at, Drew. He's going overseas. Not heard the Legion, but if I let you know, I don't care. Even if I say, yeah, mate, I won't tell anyone. It's coming straight to the pod. I'll let you know.
Good man.
Well, is there any other scoop you got at the Legion? Just to put that to the test?
Gee, I don't know. You caught me on the hop there. Maybe Darcy Breen got extended for 40 years.
Deservedly so.
I don't know.
Could he play for the All Blacks in 3 years, Michael Hooper?
I don't think
But
so.
see, that's the other thing. Oh, wait, who could? Michael Hooper. How could he play for the All Blacks?
In 3 years' time, he's saying, if he got residence and...
But has he got a Kiwi?
No, he just needs to go live there,
there?
and we can... Can't you just live between the
Is
two
it as simple
countries?
as that?
I think if you get residency...
Yeah.
I think it might have actually gone to 5 years now in World Rugby.
He can still do it.
That's a big commitment. New Zealand, 5 years.
So you're backpedaling the South African stuff, but New Zealand's fair game. You don't. You'll just
I like to stir the Kiwis. Yeah.
Very good. Great segment. That was. What's drewing? We'll put a sting on the back there as well, Hugo. Let's get that sting out as much as we can. It's wonderful. Hey, it's time for your segment, Swoop.
Oy.
Swoop did a brand new segment last week. It's called Holiday Swoop's Hot Spots. Now, it went really well last week. We've had people start writing in, can you please do, and they're now requesting spots for you to do.
You're kidding.
Your little itineraries.
Let's just hope I've been there.
Well, you've definitely been here. This was requested from an Ed White, who I'm not sure if he's an Irishman going to South Africa or if he's a South African that lives in Cape Town but just has never been out. I'm not sure. He is asking you to do the Cape Town.
I guess we're doing Cape Town
edition.
Cape Town's tough. Like, Cape Town's very
Did you throw to the? You just got to throw to the sting first.
Yeah,
you do.
Thanks. So I just
Just
start
say
again, or
no. Just say here's the sting.
here's the sting. Cape Town's tough. One, because the landscape has changed a lot since we've been there, and obviously in the hospitality industry, landscape changes all the time. But we were there a lot over a decade ago. So if I were to do Cape Town from our perspective in the day, and I'll get a little bit of input from the boys here because there's no one that knows Cape Town better than these other two blokes, if you know what I mean. So let's just say it's a Saturday. I'll get to Sunday in a minute. Saturday, I'm guessing that we're going to start at Giovanni's, the nice little deli cafe. Basically, it's like a little, those little hybrids, grocer / cafe. Fantastic. You'd love it.
Yeah.
It's in Greenpoint, opposite the new stadium there.
Even beef brisket, mate.
Really?
Oh, all sorts.
Goyd, weren't you a fan of the Thai plum chicken or something though?
Yeah, with the cashew in it.
Anyway, I was more of a ham and cheese toasty kind of guy. I keep it simple.
Swoop was there for the neighbours. Neighbours a modelling agency, so Swoop always got the seat outside.
Really? Sit out the front.
Another option's post Giovanni's, and I guess you could go anywhere. You could go down the waterfront, soak up a little bit of atmosphere down there, but also you've got the options of, I think it's Long Street, maybe near Greenpoint, but there's a plethora of options there. We'll get to post that because they're kind of tying together with the Sunday itinerary. Now, Sunday, you're starting at Giovanni's again.
Right.
It's that good. You're going there back to back. And then post Giovanni's, there's no other place.
Would you not go to Willoughby? I'd go to Willoughby's on the second.
Yeah, okay. Well, Giovanni's, if you don't want to double up there, go to Wallabies. Nice little sushi arrangement.
Yeah.
Although they've franchised the shit out of it now and the quality's gone down.
But the popcorn chicken there.
Popcorn chicken's still good?
Popcorn shrimp.
Popcorn shrimp.
Mm.
Yeah, lovely play. What about the dragon roll?
Yeah,
The
I'm
special.
not so big on it. I don't like salmon.
Okay.
Huge. Good one.
And then there's no other place to go than Caprice. So you're straight down to Camps Bay and you'll settle down there because it's Sunday. And Sunday Caprice is one of the all-time greats. I'd suggest turning up just after lunch,
Yeah.
straight from Giovanni's or Willoughby's, and settling in with a bottle of apple sours.
Oh,
Oh, love the apple sour.
He loves the apple sours. He used to actually, didn't you run a little import business with apple sours back down to Canberra?
Well, back in the day, we had a couple of people that wouldn't drink. So I'm like, all right, I'll buy a couple of bottles. You can carry 2 for me. You got 2 for me. You got 2. So I end up getting 10 through.
Caprice, you could really settle in there for the night. Now, if you're wanting a little bit more, down the road, there's an option called Eve. Nice little discotheque. But whether it's the Saturday or the Sunday, and you're fancying a little bit more, you probably tap Drew and Gits on the shoulder and take you to either the Mavericks or the Ranch. Now, I've never been there, and I'm not sure what these establishments are about, but these two know this place inside out. First name basis, probably have you covered for entry. From what I've heard,
Drew's still
name
got his
basis.
membership.
Destiny, Misty. No, there's a lovely buffet at Mavericks.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
go there for a late night buffet.
Yeah.
Late night food.
Okay. And then the Ranch is a steak joint.
Oh, yeah, great.
It's a
Fantastic.
bit further out of town.
Yeah.
But they even let you sleep over if you need to.
Hey, this segment, this is outstanding.
There used to be one of the great places. I don't think it's there anymore down at Camps Bay. Remember Lamed? And you used to get a wheelbarrow full of Savannah dryers and Windhooks and...
Oh, they just wheel it up
just
to
wheel
you.
it out
Oh,
to
man,
you.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, geez, we did some
Can we do a
damage
live show in Cape Town, Ollie?
No, we were hunters.
Thanks.
Back then it was Hunters Drive.
That's right.
Oh,
Savannah was a
Hunters.
late change. Yeah.
All right.
You remember when we were at Caprice, Drew, and you were playing two up with Mini Me?
Yeah, Vern Trotter. Is it Vern Trotter? Troyer. He wasn't doing much
Well, it's not
trotting, old
Cotter.
Vern. Mate, he was like a foot tall. He used to just sit there like he was sitting in a windowsill, and he had his stubby on the end of his feet, and he was just like nursing his own beer into his mouth. That's how tiny he was. He just had a normal stubby hanging off the end of his feet and just sipping
He was
it away.
a cracking fella, though.
Did it
He
kind of
was
look like the
mixing
pina
with us,
colada you
having
guys
shots.
were drinking?
Yeah. Oh, mate, some good.
All
Some
right,
great
hey,
nights.
let's throw to your finish up there.
What? How am I finishing up?
You say, there you go.
There you go.
Swoop's hotspots.
Swoop's hotspot, Cape Town. Lekker.
Telling you, we need to get these tourism boards on that. That is fantastic. All right, we got to move on here. Northern Hemisphere Legends. Let's do this. There you go. The NHL's the top 14 final result. Now, obviously, Tommy's written this incorrectly because there could never be a final that would have this sort of scoreline. Toulouse 59 defeated Bordeaux 3. That doesn't sound right, does it?
Typo?
Is it a typo? Tommy has written, well, I think it is fair to say this match was a farce from the start, with one team turning up and the other still wondering how they got there.
Yeah.
How does a final become 59-3? Who would like to go first?
Well, I just think we should cut back to last week's footage where I think myself, Goy, we said they do it in an absolute canter.
All right, hey, well, let's just pick who's going to win that final.
Oh, Toulouse, easy.
Toulouse.
Absolute canter.
Goit.
A canter is an understatement. Toulouse.
And I don't know if the definition of canter in the dictionary reads Toulouse 59, Bordeaux 3, but it fucking should.
Is there a reason? Was there a reason? Was there something?
Well, I think experience got Toulouse over the line in the end. They've been there many times, right? They know how to play big games. They've got big players that know, just know the routine, know the process. They will. You got to be happy for Bordeaux, right? First time in the club's history. Huge demarche. It was a bit of a putain de mad performance. But look, they'll be better for it. And as they say, you've got to lose one to win one. So really excited about next year's prospects.
He's already moved on.
Very.
Mate, but how good were the like with Toulouse playing? Like Antoine Dupont again, just magic. But even just like right at the end, I think it was maybe a lot of time was up or something. They went 105 metres. Like,
Yeah,
they could have
from
just
their
kicked
own.
it out, game
Yeah.
done up by 50. And they go 105 metres and Ange Capuzzo in the corner. Like,
And you had two blokes on the inside that could have gone under the post. But
you're doing that.
Nah.
You don't need to worry about getting the conversion in that instance.
now the Dupont chip and chase
Yeah.
was a thing of beauty. Ball on a string.
I think, and I don't know maybe if I should say this because I'm on the panel, but he could be a player that could be in contention for being the World 15s Player of the Year and perhaps the World 7s Player of the Year in the same year.
Stop it.
Don't you think? Like the impact he's had on the 7s circuit already. I think he was the Rookie of the Year, and obviously going into the Olympics, if they have some success there, he could very well be in the conversation. I'm not a part of that selection panel, but he could be.
But you know where you need to get the scoop.
Mm.
It's the KOKO Show.
Yeah.
So we're getting the Legion scoop. We're getting the awards night scoop. Okay, so let me ask you this.
The after scoop.
The after scoop. Your old Toulon side, you won 3 European championships. You won a raft of cups and medals and trophies. Would that side, so what are we thinking, 2012, 13, 14, is that right, Goit, when you were winning there?
Yep.
Would they beat this current Toulouse
Yeah.
side?
Easy. Not in our current.
No, but
Physical.
back then. So if we had a way, I know people don't like debating different eras, but if we got that side, so the Wilkinsons, the Ma'as, the Goit, all that, you, Brian Habana, would that beat this Toulouse side? I'm going to ask you, Swoop.
The 23rd, I think it's the 23rd. What year did you go back to back? 13?
Well, 13 was the first, 14 was the double, and then
14
15
was the
the
double.
third.
The 2014 Toulon v. the 2024 Toulouse. I'm going Toulon every day of the week.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Love that, Swoop.
I was gonna
That
say
was
that
a
was
real good opportunity for you to have a crack at us.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, credit is... What is it? What are you saying?
Credit where
Yeah,
credit
that's
is
it.
due.
This is Sting. Credit is...
He still couldn't get it.
Anyway, we'll cut that out.
Nah, that'll stay in.
Full
All right.
credit to the boys is what he's trying to say.
Very good. Hey, this is perfect time to bring in our next segment because I can smell the bloody pies. Yes, that's right. 4 and 20 are back. Pop on your beanies, folks. Let's do the sting here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
Yes,
Is that a little
4
pepper
and...
number as well?
Oh, goodness me. So 4 and 20 are back to sponsor the quiz. We did this last year. It was so good to have them on board. Swoop would knock off, say, 4 to 5 pies in a segment. Wouldn't talk. There's 5 for you there. If you are not living in Australia and you are coming to this country, or if you're going to New Zealand, or if you're going to America, they're available there. Get yourself a 4 and 20 pie because they are epic. They've been going since 1947.
One of the real staples in my diet.
I can, yes, absolutely. Jump into one. Let's have one of these while we
Why not?
get on board. The pies are in front of us here, guys. Honestly, get yourself a 4 and 20 pie. I will start the quiz here. We have Goit there ready to go. Who won the quiz last week, gents?
Good question. That would
Did
have
we
been
go
me.
back and review that tape? Did Swoop?
Yeah, I feel like Swoop claims it every week, but no one actually pays attention or cares, so we don't have full confidence. But I'm
remember-
sure he doesn't.
Well, he got 5 from 5 last week, Goit, if you remember, and then there was a bit of controversy.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
There you go. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. In the annual the subject today, gents, is it's the July test quiz.
July test quiz.
Is it yummy? Looks like a chicken
Great
one.
name.
The July test quiz. So it's all about the tests that you
Did
guys...
I tell you I've got a good feeling about this?
No, you didn't mention that. Here we go. In the annual June-July International Rugby Series hosted in Australia, which nation did Swoop score back-to-back doubles against in consecutive weeks? A, France. B, Ireland. C, Italy. D, I mean, more than like, what nation didn't he do it against? Good one, Tommy. I'm going to let you go last, Swoop. So,
Sure.
Biff,
Italy. That was James
France.
O'Connor's.
Ireland. Italy.
Debut.
Yeah, you got a hat trick, that one, Ravs.
I'm going to go France.
France. A. Goit,
What was the third option?
Ireland or Italy?
I'm trying to think of the games.
What was the back-to-back? What, doubles?
Doubles, yep.
We did dust Italy, I remember back 2009, maybe pretty easy back.
Just lock one in, mate.
I'll go with Italy. Yeah, Italy. Sorry, mate. I'm trying
2
to think.
tries in 2 games. You got it, Goit?
He went Italy.
I said Italy. Sorry,
Okay,
I
yeah,
said Italy.
Swoop.
Yep.
Italy.
A ding, ding, ding. It is Italy. There you go.
Knew it wasn't France because when we flogged them, Crossy got the double.
Yeah.
July 13th and July 20th. Question number 2. On July 24th, all 3 of you beat the Springboks at Suncorp Stadium. What percentage of the 30 points scored by the Wallabies were courtesy of you 3? Was it A, 50.25%? Was it B, 66.66%? Was it C, 75.35%? Or D, 100%? Yeah, boy.
What year are we talking?
20... What year was that, Tommy? I'm going to say... What year did you beat them? In the noughties. I'm going to take a guess, say 08. I don't know.
I'm going to go the second highest, not 100. The next one.
66.
66.66 for you, Goit. Swoop. 50.25, 66.66, 73.35 or 100.
Oh, 73. No, I wanted 73.
Okay,
so
Goit
the second
73, 75, yep.
6.6 got a nice repeat
Okay.
sound.
I'll go A, 50, whatever it is.
50.25. The answer, ding, 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 Goit, you're going to kill yourself. Sorry, kick yourself. 66.66%. Swoop.
Something to do with the 30%, the 66.
So Gits, you had 15 points. And Drew, you had 5 points. So 20 points. In question number 3.
Nothing.
Swoop nothing. In 2005, the Wallabies went into camp in June ahead of the upcoming tests in the June-July window. When the squad was announced by Rugby Australia, how tall and how heavy did they list Gits as in centimetres and kilograms? A, 177 centimetres and 87 kilograms. B, 176 centimetres and 86 kilograms. C, 178 centimetres and 85 kilograms. Or D, 185 centimetres and 96 kilograms. Swoop.
Got to be the last one because there's always Mayo early days with Gits.
Goit.
Oh, no, let Drew go because I know the answer.
C.
C, 178.
Yeah,
Goit.
C. I always put in C.
Ding, ding, ding. There you go, you two. Do you have it's the 178 centimetres, 85 kilograms. Do you have a score check?
Drew 1, Matt 2, Adam 2.
Question number 4. Out of the 9 test matches Drew has played in the month of July throughout his career, he has 5 victories and 4 losses. How many points has Drew scored in July throughout those 9 tests? A, 15 points. B, 20 points. C, 10 points. Or D, 0 points. Start with you, Swoop. Okay, start with you, Goit.
I'm going to go 15.
Yeah, A.
15. Ding, ding, ding to all 3 of you. It was 15 points. Try and debut versus South Africa in 2005. Try versus the All Blacks in 2010. And try versus South Africa in 2010. Question number 5.
Get Pie Man to, can Pie Man answer first, please?
Pie Man's got a lot of pie in his mouth. So I'm just...
I know, and he's just nodding.
Question number... No, you're doing it.
The only one selling 420.
I'm gonna have one in a sec. I'm gonna do that.
Mate, the cheese burned the fucking shit out of my hand. I'm waiting for it to cool down a bit.
Swoop, pick up his mic, please.
All right. Bring it, mate.
Question number 5. Drew, you scored on debut for the Wallabies versus South Africa in July of 2005. When you scored your first try off the back of a Matt Rogers intercept, who was the first teammate to congratulate you after crossing for the meat pie? A, Wendell Saylor. B, Chris Whittaker. C, Matt Rogers. D, not a single soul to be seen. Swoop.
Where was this? Sorry.
It was in South Africa 2005. I'm not sure
Yeah,
where.
out at Olympic
I was
Park.
in Brisbane. Was it? Or
No, Sydney, yeah.
Lade. Wits.
Wits. Sorry, Goit.
Would you say Drew go?
No,
No, you go, Goit.
I'm going to go with Big Delhi.
Del.
Matt Rogers.
A ding, 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 Chris Whittaker.
Was it?
Yeah.
Right.
Which means who wins the Adam Ashley Cooper wins again. A ding, ding, ding. It's 2 weeks in a row, mate. You are.
I'm fucking on.
You are. You're the pie man.
Mate, we should do a tally. We should do a tally with all the previous quizzes.
Very, very good. Congratulations to you, Adam Ashley Cooper. Just a reminder, if you do want to buy 420 pies, you can get them at Coles, you can get them at Caltex, you can get them anywhere and everywhere. They are a wonderful pie. I'm about to have one. I can't wait for this to finish so I can smash a pie. Well, that was it. That was the quiz. Brought to you proudly by 420 Pies. Jesus, good to have him back, Swoop.
What a win.
Thanks for lining that up, Mr. Pie Man.
You're welcome.
How was the pie?
Delicious.
Of course it was. All right. Hey, just a reminder, you can find us at our website, www.kickoffs and kick-ons. That's all our socials as well, kickoffs, kick-ons, but except for YouTube that has kickoffs and kick-ons. Finally, let's give a massive thanks to Polo Ralph Lauren for being our major sponsor. It's so good to have them on board. They kit us out. We look outstanding. And just a reminder, you can buy that at myer.com.au, or you can walk into a Myer and you can buy it off the rack. A big thanks to Myer as well. Thanks to 4 and 20. It's been a wonderful episode. Wonderful to have Nic White on. I guess the only other thing to say is bonus content. We've been doing this bonus content on a Friday. Hugo had the great idea. Why don't people send questions in and we will answer them in the bonus content segment.
Like it.
So if you've got a question for us, DM us, email us, send us a carrier pigeon, whatever you got to do, and I'll get the boys to answer the question. Hey, that was the KOKO Show. What a cracking show, lads.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Well done.
Into international season.
Absolutely pumped. Goit, have fun over there. Biv and Swoop, I'll see you at the game, the Wallabies game.
You will.
Let's watch them. Schmidt It
Can't
In.
wait. Schmitty.
Drew.
Only one thing to do, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Go the Wallabies and the Wallaroos.
And
Cuckoo!
oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.